Under the Kawasaki Bridge, a group of thugs mistake him for an elementary schooler and demand his money. Sora, unfazed by their size or numbers, challenges them to a fight and promptly gets beaten up. They take his 1,200 yen, but he refuses to let go of his most prized possession, his basketball shoes. Enter Chiaki Hanazono, a towering Kyuzuryu high sophomore who witnesses the chaos but is more concerned about his rumbling stomach. He asks if he has any food to spare. Sora, noting Chiaki's athletic build, hands over his last curry buns. As Chiaki devours them, he shows Sora a picture of a girl named Tomo, who agreed to a date with him except she never showed up. I could wait 24 hours a day, and she still wouldn't come, he sighs. Feeling bad for him, Sora excuses himself to head to school, but Chiaki stops him, giving him the nickname Mr. No Height. Sora, annoyed, warns him to stop with the random nicknames. Curious, Chiaki asks why Sora clung to his backpack despite getting thrashed. Sora simply replies, "Because my wings are inside," explaining he's been in plenty of fights but never runs away. Chiaki, impressed, offers to teach him how to fight, until a remote-controlled airplane smacks him in the head, knocking him out cold. Sora takes this as his cue to leave for Kyusuryu High. After the entrance ceremony, Sora wastes no time and heads straight for the basketball court. Lacing up his sneakers, he starts practicing until he's interrupted by the school's notorious troublemakers, led by Momoharu Hanazono. Like everyone else, Momoharu mistakes Sora for a grade schooler and hauls him off to the locker room. But when he notices Sora's wearing their school uniform, he's furious. Kyuzuryu's basketball court, he declares, belongs to him, and no one plays without his permission. As punishment, they lock Sora in the filthy locker room. With nothing better to do, Sora starts cleaning until he discovers a small hole in the wall. A peek through it reveals something unexpected: the girls' locker room. Just then, Chiaki casually emerges from a locker. When Sora demands to know how he got in, Chiaki reveals he was already in there, sleeping. He warns Sora to stay away from the basketball team, as it's run by delinquents who refuse to let anyone play. Sora, however, couldn't care less. He's here to play basketball, no matter what. Chiaki, amused by his determination, smashes open the door, and they head to the court, where Madoka and her teammates are practicing. Chiaki introduces Madoka as the ace of the girls' team. She warns Sora about the boys' team, but before he can take her advice, Momoharu and his gang arrive, furious that Sora is breaking their rules again. This time, they beat him up and steal his basketball shoes. Lying on the ground, Sora recalls the moment his mother gave him those shoes, making them even more precious to him. When Madoka checks on him, Sora, still fuming, gets up and demands his shoes back. Momoharu refuses and threatens to toss them in the incinerator. This pushes Chiaki to step in, leading to a friendly but heated brawl. Afterward, Sora issues a challenge, a 5-on-1 basketball match. If he loses, he'll give up high school basketball. The game begins, and Sora wastes no time showing what he's made of. Momoharu tries to guard him, but Sora fakes him out with ease. The girls' team watches in amazement as Sora ducks past defenders, his swift, low movements resembling a diving duck. It's then that Chiaki finally understands what Sora meant by, "These are my wings." His basketball shoes aren't just footwear. They're the key to his dream. As Sora goes for a layup, Yasuhara delivers a sneaky kick near his groin. A girl from the team immediately calls out the foul play. Chiaki, seeing the chaos, quietly exits the court and heads toward the Kawasaki Bridge. Meanwhile, Momoharu chucks the basketball at Sora, letting him know the game has officially entered no rules mode, just 10 minutes of pure, unfiltered street ball. Taking things seriously, Sora tightens his shoelaces and makes his move. As he dribbles, he recalls his mother's words about the perks of being a short player. Momoharu and Madoka lock in on defense, reading his every move, but Sora stays cool and nails a step-back three-pointer. Madoka and Momoharu are stunned by Sora's insane shooting range. Masahiro and Yasuhara, finally convinced, tell Sora he's on the team, though only as their errand boy. Momoharu isn't having it and reminds them the match isn't over yet. There are still 8 minutes left. At the Kawasaki Bridge, Chiaki eagerly waits for his girlfriend Tomo, but instead gets a surprise visit from Momoharu and his crew. Momoharu admits that Sora has some serious grit despite taking a beating. He never backed down and even won the game by a huge margin. After the dust settles, Madoka offers Sora a handkerchief for his injuries and checks if he's okay. Sora reassures her he's fine and praises Momoharu's defensive skills, guessing that his twin, Chiaki, must have also played at a high level in middle school. With his victory secured, Sora still isn't sure about joining the team. Later, during lunch, he heads to the rooftop, where Madoka and her friends ask if he's made up his mind. He admits he's still undecided. As a gesture of support, Madoka hands him her lunch and tells him the girls' team isn't great either, but she's counting on him. Motivated by her words, Sora rushes to the boys' locker room, eager to practice. Masahiro, Nabe, and Yasuhara shut him down, ordering him to clean the mess instead. While cleaning, Chiaki swings by and, in classic Chiaki fashion, attempts a ridiculous pole vault trick to retrieve a jacket from the girls' locker room. During their chat, Sora asks if Chiaki and Momoharu played in middle school. Chiaki vaguely replies that the boys' team doesn't really practice, and then vanishes. Madoka is surprised when Sora skips his first official practice. She later catches him putting in extra shooting practice, while an irritated Momoharu watches from the sidelines before storming off to a convenience store where he meets Chiaki. At the store, Chiaki tells Momoharu that Sora isn't just some random kid. He's got elite depth perception, a crucial skill for a top-tier shooting guard. Their chat is cut short when some punks from Shinmaruko High start trouble. A fight breaks out, and Momoharu and his crew easily handle them. Later, back at school, Momoharu notices the gym lights still on. Curious, he walks in and finds Sora tirelessly practicing his shots. He asks how many he's made, and Madoka, who's also there, casually drops the number 1021. Momoharu, surprised to see Madoka at school so late, asks why she's still there. She admits she was about to leave, but curiosity got the best of her. When he questions Sora's relentless practice, she explains that Sora is making up for his height disadvantage by drilling 1,000 shots every day. She then adds that Sora believes in him and is just waiting for the day they can finally play together.